If you're somebody that continuously sets goals on your weight loss journey, you may say these following statements. You know what? I'll just work out tomorrow. I don't feel like it. I'm way too tired. Or, you know what? I just need some motivation. Then I'll start a diet. Then I will get healthy. This sounds like you're in the right place, because in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can build faith through discipline to stop relying on motivation. Our first way to build faith through discipline is to understand that motivation is temporary. Just like with every other feeling or emotion, sadness, anger, irritation, annoyance, all of these things are temporary and they do not last. So when it comes to motivation, motivation is no different. Motivation comes and goes, especially at the start of your weight loss journey. Most participants that participate in a weight loss journey typically feel the most amount of motivation before they start. And this is because most people are visualizing the results that they will get at the end of the journey, and they don't really think about all the things that come along when you're on the journey. The thing is that motivation is not the true recipe for success. You need discipline to achieve the results that you want. So if your goal, for example, is to achieve 100 pounds in a year, then you need to stop relying on motivation, because motivation comes and goes and it will not stick with you when you're trying to achieve bigger results. Also, we don't want to rely on motivation too much, because it can lead to perfectionism in the fact that we think that we're failing, or we have too many setbacks and that we have to start all over again. Consistency, patience, and discipline all lead to long-term success that will last even after you lose weight. Our second way to build faith through discipline is to understand how discipline actually builds faith in the first place. When you are actively choosing discipline over what you feel, you're telling yourself that you can be successful in obedience towards God. Every time you choose to get up out of bed every single morning, or even after you get off of work, you're choosing to not rely on how you feel, like feeling tired, to dictate your choices. Same thing goes for your diet. Usually, for most of us working, we don't want to cook anything. We don't want to meal prep. We don't want to eat whole foods. We want to rely on convenience and the fastest source of fuel possible. Usually, it tends to be the ultra-processed snacks. It tends to be the cookies. It tends to be the breakfast bars. It tends to be things that aren't really good for proper fuel. So one of the main goals that you could work towards is telling yourself, no, despite even if I'm tired, I'm still going to meal prep ahead of time. And working out and eating healthy should not be considered a punishment. Instead, it should be considered a celebration of what God designed you to do. So if you're trying to eat a really, really strict diet of chicken, broccoli, and rice in every single meal, then that's not going to be very realistic, and you're bound to fail with that sort of diet. So don't make it too restrictive and be realistic with yourself. Our third way to build faith through discipline is to implement discipline into our everyday lives. How you can actively practice discipline in your everyday life is to not quit when things get hard. Along the way, it's going to get very challenging. When you start losing weight and start making more progress, your progress is not being heightened as much because you lost more weight, and so it's typically harder when you are lighter to lose more weight, because in the beginning, you have more weight to lose and your body's adjusting to a new routine. But despite those plateaus, you have to understand that even when you see progress like that, it all takes adjusting something in your routine to start seeing more of that progress. So if you're doing the same workouts every single day, cardio workouts, maybe try doing some strength workouts to start building some more muscle, to start boosting your metabolism. Or if it's your diet, maybe eating too many carbohydrates, and maybe you need to cut back on some carbs to reduce the amount of calories that you're having, and therefore creating a bigger deficit. Another helpful tool with your diet is removing temptations. So if you live with other people, like friends, family, roommates, whatever, you can have a one-on-one conversation with them and tell them that, you know what, I'm really just trying to lose weight right now. Can we just keep all these snacky things out of sight because I can't have cookies, I can't have cake, I can't have all of these things out in the open because it's just really not serving me. And by all means, always pray before you're about to cave in or give in. Prayer is really, really effective and powerful when it comes to taming the flesh. When we pray to God, we're actively relying on His strength, not our own, to overcome our urges and temptations and to not give in to sin so that we can grow stronger through our discipline through practiced habits. The following ways of understanding motivation is temporary, why discipline is an act of faith, and how to implement discipline in your everyday life will help you to build your faith through discipline so that you can gain a deeper relationship with God. However, if these things are not enough on their own, then I highly recommend checking out my video on how to overcome self-sabotage to really understand the hidden enemy within yourself that is setting you back from getting that progress that you're looking for.